Hello. We are the up. It's not the Upside Down podcast. It's the Don't Look Down podcast. That's what it is. Oh, wow. And it's number 23.
Yay.
Oh,
Prime.
yeah, my name's Richard Walters, and this is my friend Kiki.
McBride.
And then
Barrett. Black.
Sorry, I'm very bad with introductions. Yeah, we are the Coexistence Coalition. We got a flag and everything to help me remember. Oh, Mother of God. Let me get through this. All right, so what are we doing tonight? Well, our t-shirts have arrived.
Hey.
Wow. Should we look at our t-shirts?
We should.
$40 a piece, $25 in production costs. So you can come here to the Coexistence Coalition and throw $15 at me, or buy one of my t-shirts. How about that?
$15, $40.
And I'm saying you can throw $15 at me if you're not going to buy a t-shirt. That's what I meant.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I'm
They
like
come in
always
the-
dropping one part of the joke.
They come in white, red, and black. And they've got a pocket. So
Yeah.
we think that's cool.
Right. So, I'm going to go back to this, and I first really brought this up last week, and for me, this was a very profound thing. A lot of people don't want to talk about this, but there was an organization named QAnon. I think most of you remember that. Maybe some of you don't. They were really hot back in 2019. Right up to the election, it really got hot with this QAnon. Nobody knew who the fuck they were, and they seemed to come out of nowhere. I saw them in the summer. They were over in, I said Friendship Park.
Mm-hmm.
And, who were these people? They were conspiracy theorists that like to beat up people. And like I said last week, there is like this one dummy right-winger. He thought this guy in a megaphone was Nick Fuentes because he thought Nick Fuentes is a Fed. Okay. What I saw this meathead post was, and this looked legitimate to me, this was footage from January 6th where somebody they're in front of that fucking Capitol. People are kind of meandering at that point, a little lost, and this guy's saying, "We're going to the Capitol. Disregard the police. Disregard the police." He's yelling through the microphone. They've stolen the election. They've stolen the election. They've stolen the election. I'm sorry I can't come up with more of these really bad, it's not aphorisms, they're really bad goo they stuck in people's heads. Prior, like Fox News, all the way up. Like, I'm thinking today, like maybe they were part of this conspiracy. Clearly, QAnon was a psychological operation. I assume most of you guys know what that is, Let me just seize upon a quick one. For example, the Nazis in World War II, they read chapters from John Chrysostom wrote a very anti-Semitic, it was about the Jews at that time in 4th century AD, and he compared them to pigs, all right? And the Nazis read this to Christian people, and also read another guy that wrote about the Jews and described them as being I had this a couple weeks ago. But anyway, Christian writers, they used to shock the Christian people of Germany. Like, how could it ever happen? Well, there it is. You get brain fuck in your mind, and then you're subliminally acting differently. And I've already talked about the Milgram experiment, where 60% of the people will shock their fellow persons to death. All right, go look it up. Oh dear, so much fun. So our answer to QAnon is the Red Dragons. Well, let's talk about colors. We're red, white, man. We're make America great again with our ethos of fucking nothing that was ever real, except some fucking black and white movie about fucking the Marines in fucking 1950. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Anyways, yeah. So we've taken red, white, and black. I like those colors. And I want to call you Bratton. It's not Bratton.
Barrett.
Barrett. I want to shoot myself now. I'm sorry.
Don't.
Thanks. Cool, man. Like, Barrett's already down, man. Barrett actually has a Welsh flag. I'll let you explain. I'm sorry.
I have a Welsh flag in my home. When I have kids with my wife, she'll be the mother of dragons.
Oh,
Yeah, nice, man.
that's beautiful.
No, but I'm just very excited.
Yeah, exactly. Something just popped into my shed, like touching on themes. Yeah, let's go there. Game of Thrones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, they had a psyops, psychological operation that would make people, when they heard, oh, I forgot this one thing about the QAnon thing. Their pledge was, where one goes, we all go. Where one goes, we all go. I'll say it again. Where one goes, we all go. That was really fucking strange. What the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. They heard the dog whistle. Disregard the police. Go to the Capitol. They stole the election. They stole the election. Save Donald Trump. Fight, fight, fight. Right? That's what they keep saying. Fight, fight, fight. Okay? That was back in 2019. 2024 rolls around. What happens to QAnon? We're not doing QAnon now. No, we're not doing it. Mike Flynn and his little fucking gang, they're not doing it. None of those people, they're all saying, oh, we're not doing it. Did you notice that? And we're fucking QAnon from the big shots. Those monsters. I think they're running some weird little sects down there because they're still running psychological operation. That's what monsters they are. So can we run a positive psychological operation? I think we can.
I think we can.
Right, and that's the jam, man. So one direction we're thinking about is self-defense courses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know, oh dear, here we go. Oh God, I hate to say this. I wrote a book that like nobody's reading. Anyways, it's a good book, and I hope it brings up your spirits. Anyways, I wrote a book. Oh man, I just forget this. Here's what I want to say. There's a guy in that book. Oh, I shouldn't even say that.
Yeah.
Anyways, he has some boxing gyms around town. I don't want to put him on the spot yet, but I want to take people to boxing gyms, and then we teach them boxing. Like I'm not qualified to teach boxing.
However, my wife is.
Yeah, exactly.
Teach boxing.
Barracks
Right.
is.
And we literally can do it here. We
That's
don't
right. We
need
have
to
a
go
space.
anywhere.
That's right.
So with the self-defense aspect, the first level, and talking to my wife about self-defense, and talking to you guys, both guys, gals,
Yay.
about self-defense, what we want to look at is, first of all, text message to you, we want real men. We want real men to be able to understand what our mission is, which is to protect, serve, and love the women, the weak, and the poor. We want real men for that. We want non-toxic masculinity. We want masculinity, however, we do want to make sure that everybody feels a certain way about themselves, and we want to uplift everybody in their sphere. That's number one. Number two, teaching self-defense classes, eventually getting to not about self-preservation, but about preservation of the soul, of the collective, of raising a new frequency, making that frequency high, raising the frequency and the level of people worldwide. That's what we want to do.
And being able to defend yourself gives you personal power
Mm-hmm.
to then take on other projects. which means if you feel safe in your environment, in your own skin, you can move forward and also advocate for yourself verbally.
Absolutely.
You can advocate for your neighborhood and learn also how to avoid problems. I mean, let's not put ourselves in risky situations. Learn what is a risk and what isn't, so we can move forward in a healthy and safe way.
That's a brilliant point. To not put yourself into the situation where you need to defend yourself,
Know how to do it if you have to.
but also know how to be
How
right.
how to avoid it.
Right, exactly. And, oh, shucks.
Shucks.
Yeah, shucks. I just wanted to, like you could say, like, if you're a woman, you know, how am I gonna take on a big guy? Well, you know what? Like, if you learn to box, let's say this might work. Like, obviously, a man is usually twice your size or whatever. Let's say you get lucky and he's sitting in a goddamn chair. If you were boxing, you'd be surprised how much a jab, and you know, will stun a guy. And you can learn that. That's kind of slow, actually, that I'm doing it. And you can learn, like, fast to pop a guy out.
Well, and simply taking on a posture that's not a victim posture.
Yes.
Can
Right.
change the dynamics immensely.
Yep.
You know, showing people that, oh, you know, you do have strength.
Your
And
tone
you do
of
know how to behave.
your tone of voice is another jab.
That's right.
Like the tone of voice and what Kiki was saying. I believe we were discussing that, Kiki and Richard, about not only when we start with self-defense, but we also start to do stuff like having people learn speech and how tone and speech in a positive, productive, and defensive mechanism with words and language of strength, being in a position of power with your words, not being afraid, having a posture of strength versus a posture of weakness.
When you have to
Or
sit,
vulnerability.
Or
you
vulnerability
know?
is a better word.
Because feeling fear is a horrible thing. So you may shrink in a critical situation.
Mhm.
It's actually the time not to shrink.
Right.
It's the time to learn these tools that these gentlemen and Karen
Yes.
will be teaching us.
right, situational awareness.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
important.
Where are you at?
Headphones. Don't wear two
Don't
headphones,
wear them.
right?
So-
Don't look at your phone. There are some basics.
Right, so we're spitballing this, and we want you to come over here like on a first Friday, and we gotta put out a notebook everybody can even. We don't even have a website yet.
Yes.
Oh, we got a Facebook. All right, we're good.
We'll
We're
do
fine.
it. What in the world? We're learning, and we're going to grow and thrive with
Right.
you all.
Yeah, so one of the things maybe we could, like, the little, just like, you know, as a single man, by like we have a benefit here, and then, you know, we set something up with your wife, and she teaches the classes. And may I ask you, Barrett, like, what exactly she teaches?
She's a Golden Glove boxer.
That's cool, man. Right on.
She also has done MMA. She
Nice.
worked in a few gyms.
Cool.
She taught classes in Alfred University for women that wanted to take a class and not get hit on by the male teachers. Because a lot of times what happens in the community of martial arts, even yoga, things along those lines that men run, is men will skim off the top, as it were, and prey on women in these classes, teaching women about self-preservation, self-reliance in martial arts. Men have done that avenue of trying to pick women up, right? Because that's just what happens sometimes, and when people are in a position of power. Look at it right now. If you look at what's going on in this country, there are so many teachers being sexually active with children right now. It's pathetic and sad. We don't want that.
We don't want people exploiting someone else's vulnerability.
That is
in
not
any
what we
facet.
want. However, I will say 30 seconds every time. I sparred my wife. My wife is 130 pounds and 5'4" and kicked the living crap out of me. Now, when we got on the ice, because I'm an ice hockey player, that's when the tables were turned. However, she's very, very excellent. What we want to do is we want to teach the empowerment of self, but we want to make sure that women have the opportunity for self-defense
And
we have the
children.
space. And children.
Children.
But what we don't want is to teach children that, oh, now I know how to fight, so let's start fighting people. That is not it. So,
And your wife can teach men
also, absolutely.
And we encourage men to come.
We encourage
also.
them to come because then what happens is we teach in a level of respect, honesty, and fortitude. We build. Everyone can come. It's for everyone. It's self-reliance and self-defense.
Right. You want to identify as a man? You're welcome.
Welcome.
Okay.
Then
Everybody.
As a woman, you're welcome.
People.
Yeah, we
Helping
coexist.
people.
We want everyone to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
That's our point.
Right. Cool. Where I had some thought in my head and it just went somewhere. I don't know. Okay, so we sort of got that self-defense thing we want to get going. Like wrestling is another thing I think is a great sport. But we're thinking about, so that's the self-defense thing. Now the other thing that I want to do, and my coexistence coalition co-partners, or what are we? Yeah, this was my idea. And I don't know, I'm thinking of a fighter pilot living up the Allegheny Rivers where he's originally from, and he's a tough guy, and I think he's a right winger, but I thought maybe he might be hear my words and think about this. What do you think, Mr. Second Amendment, if we brought young adults, children perhaps, down to the age of 10, I don't know, or your place, and we develop some type of age-appropriate reading regarding, yes, gun safety and God, I don't care. Gun safety and goodness. Gun safety and good orderly direction. All right, yeah, so that sounds crazy, but think about it, like, if you, like, this whole fucking violence problem, I was just thinking to myself, I'm just riffing on everything. We're all spitballing. I'm thinking about, like, all right, let's look at it from a different direction, man. Oh, God, are we ever going to get fucking, give the gun rights people what they want, and then give the women what they want in terms of health care and all that stuff. That's where my thoughts going with this. But anyways, we get the Second Amendment people, we have them in on our message because they're with us, because they're teaching young people how to use guns safely, and they're getting future customers. So they all should be on board with this one. And then we can bring policemen, police women into these places where we meet, like this one, and talk to these young people so they're not afraid of young people. Sorry, people have different experiences with police. They sure do, man. I had a black brother. This is crazy. This is like why I believe. You can tell me God doesn't exist, but let me tell you a story. This is like crazy. All right, it's a state trooper, West Virginia, federal court, Clarksburg. I'm cross-examining him, because he's a pedophile. God, all right. He's got to fill in like his emails. He's got to keep up with his mailing, his address, all that stuff. All his contact information has to be updated. Well, they sort of had it, but he walked out that door after I talked to him, and after I presented evidence, after I cross-examined a black state police officer on his failure to abide by the federal and state law, and he went off to 5 years in prison. Yikes! Anyways, another great job by Rich in the courtroom. Another winner. So Clarksburg's a bit of a ways to I-79. You know, you may not be familiar, obviously. But then you gotta like go up 79 a ways, you know? And so I had gone up 79, I think 20 or 30 minutes. Some of you out there might be very surprised to know that I like to huff a little marijuana once in a while. Medical marijuana.
You have pain issues.
I have pain issues. I do.
He does, actually.
I do. So I'm like, all right, man, I'm driving. You know, like West Virginia's kind of cool, man. I like driving, man, you know. I'm fucking hitting that fucking, you know, driving, like getting fucking high. Why don't you take me high? And then I'm looking at my rearview mirror, man. I'm like, wow, that black car, that almost looks like a police car. And right then, the fucking blue lights come on. Oh, I pull over. And I go, I'm scared to shut this, man. I stash the fucking pen. Like, in West Virginia, it's illegal, man. I can't, you know, what the fuck? Fuck, stash the pen right in the middle. Glove compartment. It's not the glove compartment. It's right below the fucking radio. Whatever the fucking thing is. Fucking, the guy, the state trooper, was coming towards the car. I turned on. And I knew right away that it was the brother that I was cross-examining over the pedophile thing. I just think that's crazy. I drove 50 minutes and here's what happens. He comes up to the car. He says, why were you going so fast? I'm like, why were you going so fast? Hey, you were 85. You must have been well over 95. He's like yelling.
The dogs.
Sorry. And then we go, and then we're looking at each other. And then we look over that, like, where the fucking, our eyes are both going over where that fucking vape pen is, man, over in the fucking, you know, it's right on that radio. His eyes are going there, my eyes are going there. And he looks at me. Were you just in court? I said, yes, officer. I think I was just cross-examining you. Oh, do you have insurance? All right. So he busted me, but he could have really busted me.
He didn't.
But that brother was cool with me. All right. So like the point we were trying to make was there are different experiences with police officers, and I just wanted to point out that brother was he treated me very fairly, and I appreciate it. So, but you had, you know, I know Barrett, obviously we've had some
Different experiences.
And
Yes,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not white and
Right.
male.
Right.
So
All right, so I went off on this diversion tangent because I want to bring people and talk to young people so they're not afraid of officers. You know,
Yes.
a little more interaction.
my cousin is a state trooper in the state of Ohio.
Cool.
There's only 2 black state troopers in Ohio. I was pulled over by the other black one, and I said my cousin's name, and he said, I didn't even see you. You know, so that is, well, I was speeding. Because I was trying to get to Warren, Ohio, Route 7, to record music. So everybody has different, everyone has different takes with the police officers. City of Pittsburgh police officers has never really treated me poorly, to be 100%. Now, outside of the city of Pittsburgh, in the small podunk communities going up Route 28 north towards Katanning, not so much. They're not very nice people. They're not.
Well, there are some out there.
There's some out there that
But
are
you
nice,
didn't happen
but
to
I did
meet
not
them.
happen to meet
Right,
any
you
of
didn't
them.
happen to meet them.
And I've heard horror stories from a lot of different people. But one thing that I do want to stress is that, as Kiki is saying, that there are nice people out there. There are police doing their jobs. There are police out there protecting and serving. What we would like to do, especially with the whole gun safety thing, I'm a big proponent of teaching kids. I would like gun safety put in schools, just like home ec class and metal shop. whatever. Gun safety should be taught at a very early age. We're not taking anybody's guns. We just want our children, we want people, anybody to know how these pieces of machinery work so that we can keep everyone safe.
Reading and role playing with those young students, young kids. There's time to intervene. Like, I think I told this horrible story already of watching a kid go off for a life sentence. I didn't tell it to you, Barrett, but I was down one day in the courtroom, in Mary Annie's courtroom. My damn phone goes off. And of course, Mary Annie, the courtroom's packed. And I'm embarrassed, and I have to give my phone to the court. And the next thing, some kid, he was 15 years old. He had shot at one of his friends over a PlayStation. He killed him, and then he was going away for life. There was nothing to do. That's by the statute. You can't really modify it. And I just thought, what a fucking shame, man. Everything felt like shit. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That just he was not. We can do better. We can do better with these human beings that we're raising.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also these kids are all in a virtual world, okay? These are kids who've been through the pandemic. They've done schooling online. Their peer groups are online. Their peer groups are on video games. Actual concrete education, one-on-one education with a real object,
Mm-hmm.
not the concept of an object, not a fake tool that you use to play on video games. It's important. It's important to understand what's reality and what isn't.
And that's really tough for a lot of kids because kids, when they are, say the pandemic, and they're online all the time playing like these games where Ready Player One,
Right.
you shoot somebody, your game is to be a sniper, your game is to be a gangster, Grand Theft Auto, things like that. These kids may get into their mind like, hey, I'm gonna shoot my friend. Oh, then I'm gonna wake up and they're going to be there again. And there's
Or life just goes on.
Life just goes on.
The game resets.
Right.
Well, it's a whole different thing. We're dealing with humanity. We're
Mhm.
dealing with people, and we're not. Let's get rid of this throwaway culture of human beings.
Right.
Let's bring back humanity. We talk to each other. We teach each other the skill sets we have. Your wife will be teaching these kids how to do, self-defense. Richard's opening the way to communication for these children.
Yeah. So let me just leap back into this. We want to build. This is a psychological operation where they're doing evil and we are doing good. Okay, and we're going to build up a little more, another layer here as we go. And remember, we can use the Welsh dragon. Anybody can. But my grandmother on my father's side was named Griffiths. So there. Are you Welsh? No, you might be. I don't know. You
I'm
never
Black
know.
Irish.
Let's go. Take it, man. All right. Where's he going with this? Where's he going with this, Rich? Oh, yeah. All right. So again, we're doing like here's the thing. If you take one of our self-defense classes and then you take one of our gun classes, anybody, we'll give you a T-shirt. Okay. And this is what I picture. All right. Somebody will have to start the whole thing. And so we have the T-shirt, right?
Yes, we have the T-shirt.
We have the T-shirt. Can you show the T-shirt? All right.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A, the T-shirt. We have the T-shirt. It's over here, right? And so what happens is, okay, we're recruiting, and you complete that self-defense course and little gun safety. You're gonna be a red dragon, and a knight is gonna knight you a red dragon. And the first thing he's gonna say is, in Latin, the translation will be, are you willing to serve the god of Uranus? Now, it's here. They've written this all wrong. There it is. How did I blow this? Oh, we got this. All right.
Silence is golden.
Silence is golden.
Here. I'm gonna think this. I had this little night thing going, and then I just lost it. Here. In Latin, they should say, "Are you willing to?" Oh, are you? Here it is.
Two own glasses.
Here it is. I'm not sure I said this. Are you willing to be guided by the God of your understanding? That's what I want to say. Are you willing to be guided by the God of your understanding? The reason why I say that is that's what they do in AA and NA and a lot of other places. The God of your understanding. I think that works. So in Latin, maybe somebody will check this for me. I would knight you.
Ah,
Sorry. Or sorry. I'll leave you out of this part. And it says like vis. Can you read my writing in Latin?
Vicine duce e Dio t'adore.
And then yes.
Yes.
You say yes.
How do you say yes in Latin? I don't know.
You know, we should just say let them say yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
so they're not confused, like I am.
When people commit to language they don't speak, I don't know.
Wow, speaking of confused, right? All right. Now, the next question would be, are you willing to serve the God of your understanding? And that would be in German, because that's 18, right? And that is like, sind sie direkt dem Gott ihres Wirtschafts zu dienen? Not even close. But anyways, you say yes, boom. And then we'll give you a t-shirt, and then you're a red dragon. And then what we do is like community outreach through, I don't know, man, we'll meet and hang out, play music, and maybe we'll paint some houses somewhere, pick up we'll help people somehow. We'll do our positive, all right, so I said anyway, that it's a psychological operation. We're trying to do positive things. So we do positive things, man. We go pick up garbage at a park and help the women, the weak, and the poor, right? We said it, right? We said it. We got to get that in there, right? The women, the weak, and the poor. Yes, I promise to serve the women, the weak, and the poor. That's another one.
Well, part of that is building people's self-esteem and their emotional and psychological strength up enough to use their critical thinking skills to then gain the power to move forward, because it's hard to build yourself back up, you know, when you've been disenfranchised.
Yeah.
You need help to bring back up your self-esteem. You need help to deprogram yourself and use your own critical thinking skills to learn how to research things, how to advocate for yourself. These are all important skills.
Everybody has said so many more important things than me tonight, but I just want to point out, like this whole red dragon thing, I'm going to keep on saying this till I'm dead. My father's mother's maiden name is Griffiths, and my father is a saint. I love my father. And, well, that's why Griffiths is Wales, and it means hard roller. So we get to use a dragon. So there. Yay. And you like Welshmen. You like Wales. You're like, I'm a King Arthur fan, man. Like,
I dig Wales.
right, man. And I get all wrapped up in the,
I'm a Catherine Zeta-Jones fan.
Yeah.
Because she's Welsh.
I love Catherine.
Did you hear when she was speaking Welsh?
No.
It is unbelievable. It is a beautiful, beautiful language.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it.
You know who else is Welsh? Shirley Bassey.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. She was born in Wales, man. And then there was Tom Jones.
Mhm.
What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa. Sorry. So much talent. So much talent at this coalition. Wow. You guys feeling it? Want to wrap?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. All right. So thanks for listening. Comment our next Unblurred is June 5th. We're gonna have at least one band here, 2 probably, maybe 3. We'll start around 7 o'clock, I think this time. And oh man, it would, life is a long, hard slog. I'm 64 years old. Hope and pray, just keep up that hope. Find that hope in this life, and keep your chin up. And things will go your way.
Yeah, and please drop in the comments any ideas or suggestions you have that could help build community or self-esteem or strengthen, our weakened populations. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
We love all of you.
Yeah.
Please raise your own personal frequency. Love yourself and love your neighbor like yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good, man. Thanks, Barrett.
Have a great night.
All right, see ya.